Welcome back. What length would you go to protect your own? Well, the latest play, American, set in small town Maryland, follows Jeff Browning, a father looking to give his newborn son everything possible, every advantage possible, even if it means stepping out of his comfort zone. Here to tell us more is the playwright Chisa Hutchinson and actor Daniel Abelis. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
I know this is an exciting time. This just days away from obviously opening night. Talk to me about. We'll start with you, Chisa. Talk to me about how. What are the feelings like right now?
Um, I'm well, obviously very excited, and yeah, just ready to share this work with New York.
Yeah, I know New York is ready to receive it as well. Talk to me a little bit about American. What is it about? What is it centered around?
Yeah, American, as you mentioned, is centered around Jeff, who is played by Dan. And Jeff is a new father. He's just had a baby, and he lives in a small town in Maryland, which is 100% white and very conservative. And one of the ways that you can sort of plug into the community there is to join the local white supremacist group, which he decides he's going to do. And as part of
Wow.
his initiation into the group, he has to take an ancestry test, a DNA test, which offers up some inconvenient results for him, and then he has to sort of deal with the consequences of that.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm just giving
Yeah.
you enough. I mean, with that, Daniel, I mean, we just learned a little bit about
Yeah.
obviously the script and theme. When you're reading it and kind of seeing the story unfold, what are your thoughts? What's your reaction?
Yeah, well, I don't want to give too much away about the plot. You have to come see it. But Chisa is an extraordinary writer in that she gives a lot of latitude for interpretation for every character in the play, which is also a testament to her as a writer. Not many playwrights can really, they don't give journeys for every single actor or role. But with this play, she does. And so my interpretation of the role has changed a little bit over time. When I first read it, I thought it was one thing, but now that we've dived into rehearsals and yeah, it's constantly expanding and unfolding. And she's very generous as a writer, and Jade, our director, also. I mean, it's
You're like, it
it's
continues to evolve,
it
that
continues
concept
to
and idea.
evolve. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff decides he wants to join this local group. I need to approach it from a place where it's in order to provide for his son, and it's a way to get ahead, and it's a very common place to be in, I think, in today's environment. Like, what can I do to get myself ahead
Right.
without, he's not considering too deeply what joining a group like this actually means. And I
Yeah,
think
and
he finally reckons with that as soon as he gets those results back.
which again, no spoilers, but
Yeah,
definitely I think is something we want to
yeah.
dive deep into a little bit more. But with that, I mean, she said this play in general does deal with like identity, race, the lengths that you would go to for someone you love. What inspired kind of those themes and incorporating it into this play?
um, there's a theater company in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, that I love working at called Contemporary American Theater Festival. And in order to get there, I have to drive through Sharpsburg, Maryland, which is that tiny little town, all white, very conservative. And I know this because there were many, many, many Trump signs sprouting out of lawns, and Confederate flags also, which, for someone like me is an indication that maybe I would not be welcome there if I were to knock on someone's door to ask directions or borrow an egg or whatever, right? So, driving the speed limit through there. But I didn't like that feeling of being fearful of people I don't know. I don't like that, um, the irrationality of that, So really, my play is my attempt at humanizing people I've never met, or um, sort of quashing that fear and just trying to recognize, they're just people. Um, they're just people.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's beautiful that you do talk about even the idea of just humanizing them, right? And just
Hmm.
giving a little bit of trying to build a backstory even behind them for the viewer to kind of see and just understand or see from their point of view. With that, of course, Daniel, when you are dealing with these topics as well of identity, race, these
Mhm.
conflicts, how do you prepare to play someone like that and someone so complex?
Well, I mean, when I first read this play, I was preparing to come in for a different role, and I asked if I could read for this because to answer your question, you need to find the human moments in these characters. He's a new dad. I'm a new dad. I could really grapple with I could with that. And I think Jeff, as far as the spectrum of morally reprehensible characters in the play, he is a subject of his environment. I believe that if he were somewhere else, maybe in a different social strata, he might not have done something like this. So to me, he's impressionable and trying to do the right thing. And in this town, the right thing is not right. But yeah, it. I have to constantly ask myself what you know what's worth fighting for in the play as a character and yeah and as a person. But I do have to contend with certain things that I would never say or do,
Yeah.
which is a challenge.
Yeah, and well, I
Yeah.
mean, also to my understanding, I like was reading and stuff, is that there is a little bit of humor also kind of incorporated into the play. Talk to me, Chisa, about incorporating humor and that kind of also lighter notes in a sense to the play, incorporating that, writing it into it.
Oh, absolutely. Like humor is the sugar that helps the medicine go down, right? Like it's the thing that's I think makes whatever messaging you might have palatable for folks. I don't think people like to go, especially now, to the theater to be punched in the soul, over and over, or like bludgeoned with, a political point. Like that's not what we go to the theater for. We go to open up a little bit, and I feel like it's a lot easier for people to open up when they're laughing. So yeah, there's funny because Jeff is a funny dude. His friend whose name is Poot, like just the nickname. Like that's funny. Hopefully that'll get some giggles out of people. People are funny, man, and I think to not capitalize on that is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, now of course we talk about the humor, we talk about even the humanizing part as well of it. When people go to see American, what are you most excited or nervous for them to see? Uh, we'll start with you, Chisa. Anything?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm nervous. First of all, it's not the first production of this particular play. It's been produced in regional theaters, um, and I'm nervous because New York audiences a different breed of audience, and I guess I'm nervous because I don't want them to pass too harsh a judgment on the characters, um, and hopefully, I'm hoping that they will be surprised at how much they can relate um, to the people and even the motivations for doing the things that they do.
Yeah. How about for you, Danielle? What are you most excited or nervous for people to see?
Oh, so many different things. I think I didn't properly answer your previous question in the way that I wanted, and it has to deal with the impulse to generalize. And Jesus plays a lot about superficial judgment, right? And so I prejudged these characters in the way that I, and through the process, could sort of find a more profound understanding of them. I hope audiences do the same, and that they don't prejudge, and are able to ask themselves deeper questions about what they might do in these circumstances, and as opposed to just dishing these characters aside as just, well, there's no one like that, because it's obviously not true. There are many people like this, and so that being said, I'm excited about all the conversations that I might have after the show for our very discerning audiences. Um, and I like to argue, so I'm looking forward to that.
You're like, come ready to debate.
Yeah.
Is that part of kind of the play itself, though? Is that there will be some type of way to connect with you, the actors and stuff after the show, or in conversation, or you mean just like in general they can reach out to have those conversations? What is the afterwards?
There are some performances that have talkbacks after them, and if you go to either primarystages.org or 59e59.org, you should be able to navigate your way to the calendar, the performance calendar, and see which shows have the talkbacks.
Yeah. Now, if people want to be ready to the talkbacks or to even see the play, what are some of the important dates coming up for American at Primary Stages?
March 1st is the first preview, excitement. And then March 18th, I
18th.
think, is technically the opening night. So, if you want to come and like raise a glass or something after the performance with, the cast and the crew, that would be the night to do it. And then what else? When do we close?
Mid-April.
You think like April 13th? I think it
That
goes
sounds
into?
right.
Yeah.
That
You're
sounds
like,
right.
those dates sound good.
Yeah.
We can extend it if needed.
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, with that as well, you've talked a little bit about obviously your own personal journeys in there. What do you hope people will receive from it? What do you also hope it does challenge viewers and attendees to look, whether it's in their own life or even what's going on around our world? How do you hope it does challenge them in some capacity, Chisa?
Yeah, well, I'll just say, like, when I was writing it, I really had to resist the urge to demonize and villainize and stereotype. So I'm hoping that's what I'm hoping the audience will do, is to think twice before sort of giving into that impulse to just reject someone or something just because it's unfamiliar or it's different from what they would do, or because I feel like that's why that's how we have arrived where we are
definitely
in this country politically, of just like people not really trying to meet each other in the middle.
Definitely. And I mean, with that, I feel like you've given us obviously so much to even look forward to. And I mean, I thank you even for taking the time to talk and break down these characters a little bit more. So I feel like we'll definitely be staying tuned. And thank you so much again for being here with us today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you. To learn more about this play, please visit the website primarystages.org. Stay tuned. We have more open for you right after this.